like, and subscribe. I was outside cutting the grass. I got to do the back, and I kept thinking about this southern somebody talking about removing the 14th Amendment and it's going to be a race war and all this crap. It's not going to be a race war in the United States. Forget it. That time has passed. Hell, the woman who could be the queen of the KKK is married to Clarence Thomas, okay? So let's just stop that. You got white women, they want to see those Epstein tapes. And once they see those Epstein tapes, especially MTG, Marguerite Taylor Greene, whatever her name, as soon as she sees those Epstein tapes, she's going to want a BBC too. It ain't happening. And understand this. United States is involved in a proxy war in Ukraine, involved in a proxy war in Gaza, involved in a proxy war in Africa, and now you want an internal war too. You're losing 3 proxy wars, and you want an internal war in Africa, in America. You're losing the proxy wars. That's 3 strikes you out, and now you want another war in the United States? That doesn't even make any sense. Rich people don't want a race war because they make money off of African Black American. How much money is Phil Knight making off of Shador? How much money? And who's buying the Shador jersey? It's not just Black Americans. All this stuff. I'm gonna tell you this. The hypocrisy is about to end. Hypocrisy is about to end. Those farmers out in the Midwest wish that Kamala Harris was president. Not that that would change much. West Virginia, which is a red state, has a white governor. Their water is orange. When they cut the water on in their taps, it's orange. You got Caucasian Americans worrying about the price of groceries and the price of gas. And then you got some idiots talking about a race war. How is a race war going to help a man that can't feed his family? Look, let me ask you a question. This question is for Caucasians. Did you sell your souls to the devil when you voted for Ronald Reagan? Because Ronald Reagan, the only thing Ronald Reagan promised you was trickle down if you cut taxes to the rich. He didn't offer you a decent day's pay for a decent job done. He didn't promise you that. He promised you trickle down. And now you're wondering why the minimum wage hasn't went up. Then he also told you to bust unions. The unions gave you all your benefits. The unions gave you overtime pay, hospitalization, retirement, vacation days, sick days. Unions gave you all that. And Ronald Reagan took all of that away, had you sign a blank check and take all of that away under the promise that you would get what trickle down. And when Ronald Reagan became president, I only know of one billionaire, and that was Onassis, who was married to Jackie Kennedy. Now you got guys you got guys with $500 billion, and the United States is in what? More than $38 trillion worth of debt. And it's funny how the more billionaires we have, the more the national debt grows up. Then you got people losing jobs, not because the corporations are going out of, the corporations aren't making money, it's because of private equity groups. Private equity groups that bankrupt companies, sell off the assets, and make billions. But I'm going to say this. You see, this is why black Americans this is why we man in our own business. Because instead of white folks trying to get out it, stop spending money on the military and losing lives and losing your sons and daughters' life in the military, instead of you worrying about clean water, instead of worrying about not losing your farms, not losing your jobs, not losing your houses, not losing your homes, you got some person out here talking about, let's have a race war, as if you don't have other things better to do. Do you don't even make no sense. And let me tell you this. And after you, after you think you're going to have a race war and win it, you're not going to win it. And after you have that, then who do you plan on taking out? Then you're going to take out the Latinos next? Then you're going to take out the Asians next? The entire world is multicultural. The entire world is multicultural. I heard a woman on YouTube, she grew up in a mixed neighborhood. And now she's in an all-white neighborhood. And she's bored as hell. Bored. I mean, you know what's getting ready. The only war that's going to happen in the United States is going to be a war against lies. That is the war that's going to be won. It's going to be a war against lies and hypocrisy. There will be a war against lies and hypocrisy. And then Caucasians, Gentiles, are going to realize that black Americans have done nothing to them. Oscar Robertson when he was president of the NBA, gave white ball players free agency. Kirk Flood initiated free agency for white ball players. He showed the union how to fight for free agency and who benefited from it. White ball players. See, eventually, everybody's going to wake up from the hypocrisy. You're going to be forced to. You see, necessity is not only the mother of creation. Necessity is not only the mother of creation and invention, it is also the destroyer of hypocrisy. Necessity will destroy hypocrisy all the time, because the only thing evil creates is chaos, and we cannot live in a chaotic society. Eventually, only thing this chaos and hypocrisy is going to do is going to wake up the souls of the Gentiles, is going to wake up the souls of the Gentiles. And within the souls of the Gentiles is the Spirit of God. And that is what Black Americans, Hebrew Israelites, have been trying to do to the Gentile. We have been trying to wake up the dormant Spirit of God within your souls. And now Trump is accelerating it, the awakening. See, forget about that. That awoke stuff is BS. Ain't no awoke. It's the awakening. The awakening is a verb. Verbs show actions. Nouns are just solid. They don't move. They don't move. And anything that doesn't move creates chaos. It creates chaos. The awakening is the time that we are in. And understand this. Black Americans, we're not going to do anything to Gentiles that we've been doing. We're not going to do anything to Gentiles that we've been doing. In the reality of the situation, we haven't been doing anything to you all. Nothing. Now the question is, have the Gentiles in America sold their souls to Revelations 2:19 and Revelations 3:19? That's the question. Like, subscribe, and I got to get out here and cut the grass in the backyard. Easy.